We all know there's more to life than meets the eye.
But it is hard to see the forest for the trees. I can't see it, but I know it's there. We all just need to get on the same wavelength.
A person's reach should exceed their grasp.
You really have to take a leap of faith.
Intuition is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it.
They say 2 heads are better than 1. How about 3?
Science is about asking questions, not just to find the last, give a last word. Yes, we want to find the answers. This is why we ask the questions. But as soon as we get an answer, we have other 10 questions that we want to answer. To be a dancer, you have to use a lot of laws of physics. For me, dance is more like a language. As math is a language of science, and as often happens, when people are able to speak more than one language, there is a deeper understanding of the meaning of the words. At the end, we all talk about nature, and we all talk about human beings.
The body, it is an extra intelligent being which somehow compensate itself upon a certain challenge. I started to look for different artists which somehow are very honestly vulnerable, very honestly searching, using their own existence as material. In this process of searching, emanating a certain lightness, a certain aura, a certain vibration, these antennas of the artist, where this electricity comes from.
Far from equilibrium thermodynamics, it reveals matter as capable of self-organization. So from a philosopher's point of view, particularly a philosopher like Gilles Deleuze, who is a process realist, that is, who believes that reality exists independently of our minds, your notion of matter, your concept of matter becomes different. And therefore art then will become not a form that the artist cerebrally imposes on an inert matter, but a partnership with matter, in which form comes from the interaction between the human and the non-human.
Emergence exists in the cosmos at all scales and times. Atoms interact, and there's an emergent phenomenon called molecules, and molecules interact, and there's an emergent phenomenon right on up through our level in this seamlessly interconnected whole, where we have the emergent phenomenon of human consciousness.
The whole thing about waveforms is that they exist throughout the spectrum, in macro and micro scale. But the funny thing is the human ear only perceives, again, this is more of a biophysics kind of scenario, but the human ear only hears within a certain small spectrum. The human being is almost just synchronizing these things and just trying to exist in a world where you're having these overlapping waveforms that in one level or another influence your full living pattern. With DJing, for my art form and my art style, it was always meant to be kind of an investigation of the trace of the waveform. We are turning ourselves inside out almost, like the electrical networks are an extension of our nervous system, or the way memory works is now getting outsourced to all these devices around us. So we let them remember for us.
Science itself is very much in flux just now. The problem is that general relativity in its standard form that's handed down to us by Einstein and quantum mechanics are not compatible. We know that at the limit of complicated phenomena like black holes, these can't both be true at the same time.
The intelligence of the body is by nature a grosser intelligence, but But you can take that level of vibration and you can refine it to the point that it's comparable to the level of vibration of the mind, which, as we all know, is very fleet and, like quicksilver, will get away from you. Once you've got that sense of refinement, you can then have an attitude of expectation, an attitude of poise, a beginner's mind, an attitude of receptiveness.